So it snowed this weekend, didn't it, Jared?
It sure did.
So I know you live where we kind of grew up.
Yep.
What did we ever actually get snow shovels there?
Yes, we have them finally.
Oh,
yeah.
Because you know what we had as kids, right? Do you remember? I know you would have been a little younger then.
Like,
we cleared the driveway.
I know we had shovels, like actual shovels.
Yes, we would use
dirt shovels.
We used dirt, yeah,
Yep.
a spade, like the spade shovel. We had a couple of those, and then we had wooden boards that we would push the snow off the driveway.
Yes,
because our father was too cheap to buy a $10 snow shovel. He was like, "Oh, it doesn't snow that much, only like a couple times a year in the winter."
Except for in the 90s when it snowed 4 feet. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was fun. Long way from my
battery powered dual 2-stage snowblower.
Yeah,
that I use.
Yeah, you're living in luxury now.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time TV, podcast where we discuss and cover TV shows and streaming shows. We are currently covering, we just finished up a rewatch of season 1 of Severance, and we are kicking off season 2 coverage today. But before that, we'll do a little what we've been watching and Based or Waste, the game show that is sweeping the internet.
That's right.
But Jared, you're such a shambolic rube.
Oh man, I love that. I was thinking about using that. That's good.
So my name's Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
I suppose you're Josh Y. I'm Jared Y. Would you be open to using different last names to avoid confusion?
That was a great reuse of a line. Love that one. That was good.
Didn't work as well with the last name because it was but.
Yeah,
right,
I'm Jay Youngberg, and you're also Jay Youngberg.
Jay Youngberg. Yeah, there you go. Could have done that.
Could have done it that way. All right, so let's kick things off with what you've been watching. What do you got? How much stuff you
got? 2 things. Well, really one. The other thing is just very brief. I'll mention.
Okay. I have 2 things as well.
Okay. Well, I think I started last week. You want to?
I'll start.
Yeah.
Watched a film on Netflix called Back in Action.
I haven't even heard of this.
This is Cameron Diaz's kind of return.
Oh.
With I'm drawing a blank the guy's name.
It's been a minute since she's done something.
Jamie Foxx is the other lead, and they are like a husband and wife that were spies. Then she ends up pregnant, and so they go off the grid. They get a chance where like they think they could fake their death basically in a situation they're in, and they decide to do that and raise the kids, and then they have 2 kids, and then they get found when their kids are like preteen and teen, so then they have to go on the run because obviously people are chasing them, and
hence the name Back in Action.
Yep. And then, the silliness of, I feel like I've seen several of these movies. I mean, there was one that was on Apple TV Plus like a year or so ago where it had Mark Wahlberg in kind of a similar role, though it was just him. It wasn't his wife, but he was the one, no one knew that it's what he used to do. And then he was some kind of, spy or something. I can't remember now specifics, but in this case, the kids didn't know what they did, and they made up something. They were in the Peace Corps and met or something like that. And so, of course, when the first time the kids see them have to fight somebody and they're beating the crap out of all these bad guys, and they're like, who are our parents? Kind of thing.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of these kind of movies being made.
Yeah. So it was all right. I mean,
was it good? So it's just fine. Like a lot of these kind of movies. Yeah.
It was, it was all right.
Okay.
It was all right.
Anyone else in it besides them 2? That you recognize?
Kyle Chandler. Saying his name backwards. A little tongue twisted there.
Okay.
Yeah, he has minor role. He kind of shows up, and then the lady who plays Cameron Diaz's mom. She looks familiar, but I can't think of her name off the top of it. but she's kind of in it a little bit too. So
cool.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, my main one I checked out this week is The Pit on Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had this kind of on the list to check out, but I haven't gotten around to checking it.
Yeah.
I would say it's on the B tier. Like it's like kind of like, maybe I'll check it out. But
yeah, I wasn't like, I don't know. I just figured I'd check it out. Wasn't like really excited for it or anything, but I was very pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, it was a lot better than I thought it would be, or at least it kept me interested the whole time because I watched all three. I think there's 3 up right now. The cool thing about this show is, I mean, I should say I think it's ER adjacent from that show.
Yeah, I think somebody
or related in some way.
Some same creator or writer or somebody. There's like a common.
Well, our main actor I know was in ER, but I'm not familiar with ER, the show, that much. But
I don't remember it either, really.
Yeah, so this is connected to that in at least some way. But the cool thing about this show is every episode is it's an hour long, and it's an hour in the
like 24.
ER. Yeah, essentially, yeah. So like they're just called, like the first episode's called 7 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Okay.
So it's cool.
It's a cool
like,
concept.
It is. Yeah, especially for the like emergency
the situation they're in. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty entertaining the whole time. Like it's pretty fast moving. Don't really recognize anyone. It seems like a lot of new actors.
Okay.
Everyone's good in it though, I thought. And it's just, yeah, it was just really entertaining. Like I watched all 3 immediately. Like I was into it. So, but I mean, very typical hospital show.
Well, I mean,
there's
so many in general shows, like so many shows you could say that. It's like really out on the execution, the acting, the production, like all those things that what makes something stand out or not.
Yes, that's a big thing. And it is cool how they do a lot of the, which I imagine they probably did in ER also. They do a lot of like, they don't cut a bunch and they just, you're following along. The camera's following them along, like through all just.
I don't know if they did that in ER. I mean,
no?
Well, I'm just thinking of the time ER was on television. It was probably shot more traditionally like a television show.
Yeah. But maybe they did a little bit because I feel like that show was pretty revolutionary when it came out. Like it was, maybe. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, so it's cool. I think that really helps with like the pacing and just getting you engaged in it the whole time. Yeah. So, yeah, so it's fun. I'm going to keep going with it. I guess it's like the season's going to be what? I guess it's going to be 12 episodes. Is it just going to go into the
12 hours?
Yeah. I don't know.
Is the second episode like from 8 to 9 and
yes.
9 to 10? So it's like a day.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's a insanely slammed hospital that's just like, and they get it all into that. And the people, like the different people that come in, they do a really good job with making them like very, not just typical, scenarios or situations that would happen in an emergency room. They, there's some pretty interesting ones. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, maybe I'll have to move it up. I mean, the reason it was maybe
it's an easy watch. And
I think it also because it's HBO versus like if it was a Netflix show, I probably wouldn't even put it on my list.
Or if it was on like NBC. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like
yeah, no, Netflix it probably wouldn't be.
It's the only reason is because it's like they're in their prime slot for HBO, which always gives something a little bit more clout than it would have otherwise.
And it's weekly. Like they put out the first 2, but then it's just going weekly. So yeah,
well, might have to check it out then.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday nights. I want to say so when it comes on.
Oh, so it's not the prime slot Sunday night.
No, it's not. Which is weird that we could have a little bit of a break. We don't have a
Yeah, they haven't had anything.
No, I mean White Lotus will be next, but that's not for a few more weeks. Yep. So, yeah. So this might be, I don't know how it's doing, but this might be the biggest thing on Max right now. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people kind of want that traditional type of TV again in some way. Obviously, this is a little different because it's on Max, but so it still has like the DNA or like the core of that. to it, but just done, I guess, in more of a modern way.
Okay.
It seems.
Cool.
So what's your
so other thing is just season 2 finale of Silo.
Oh yeah. How was it? How was the season?
It was, so the finale was fantastic.
Cool.
Season overall was pretty good. The basically ran into the same issue that they did on season 2 of House of the Dragon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cause so like Rebecca Ferguson's character is kind of like Damien's character.
Oh, that sucks.
Where she was, because she's
not in it that much.
Not in it as much, and then so instead of saying, "Oh, let's like sit on her for a little bit,"
yeah,
they kind of tried to like sprinkle in a little bit every episode. So like her storyline kind of drug out a little bit there in the middle, because you're kind of like, "What are we doing here?"
Right.
But then the last 2 episodes of the season, it really picks up, and then it really comes like, well, kind of, they come back together, like, and anyway, yes, fantastic. And another fantastic cliffhanger thing at the end of like they did
similar to season 1.
Where you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck.
Awesome. That's good.
So yeah, I really, I mean, overall that was good. It's just, and the stuff in the main silo was very interesting, and you're learning some other stuff and getting answers to things, and then new questions kind of thing, done pretty well. Just her stuff on the side, it was kind of like, I think, and sometimes, I don't know, I think this came up in with House of Dragon, like sometimes, like if someone to be there's sometimes legal stuff, I guess, where if you're a primary, like considered a primary, like you almost have to be in a certain percentage of the episodes or something.
Okay.
And so you can't have them gone for too much, and I think that might have been the same issue with what's his name that plays Damon and
Matt Smith. Yeah,
Matt Smith in House of Dragon.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's what's playing a role a little bit in here, and why they're like doing that, where they break them up so much, their storylines, instead of just, hey, let's not see them for 2 episodes, and then we can have a chunk of it, and then let's see them for 2, and then chunk, right? Instead of feeling like you're just piecemealing it out
yeah.
And that's what kind of this Rebecca Ferguson stuff did for, I don't know, probably from episode 3 to 7, like it kind of felt there,
right.
Which is very similar to House of Dragon was. Like,
it was
they
like
didn't have as many episodes, but it was like, it was like that, the middle chunk of the season, it felt like, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it also has to do with just, I mean, she's a very busy actor. I don't think that's it. No,
because
okay.
I don't think so. Because I think.
So I was wondering if they had to film her scenes in a pretty short window, and then when they're editing the episodes, put them, like you said, just a little bit each episode, sprinkle her in.
Yeah, I mean, well, the editing part, that's or how they structured it, might have been this writing also, but like, that's, like I said, that I feel like maybe there's contractual reasons they have to do that, and that's why. But I don't know. But I think they would have made the time for her I think she would have made the time for this, because I mean, I knew they rolled right into shooting season 3, right off season 2.
I mean, and she still is the main character even in season 2, right?
And she's still the lead. Like when you're listed, like she's the top
during the title credits. Yeah, she's first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just I didn't like the way season 2 started. I liked some aspects of it, but it was kind of, I haven't watched any more of it yet, but
yeah,
I will get to it. Just like season 1, I finished like shortly before season 2 came out, so maybe I'll do the same. I don't know, but
all right. Well, what else? What is your other thing you got there?
It's just from last week, same thing again. Because I'll just mention it very briefly. Still watching a lot of Mad Men.
Nice.
In the middle of season 4 now. And yeah, just wanted to mention that's a lot of what I'm watching, because I just really, it was hard to stop. I got started through it. I mean, I mentioned last week, like I got through first couple seasons pretty quick. And, I mean, we both mentioned last week too. It's one of our favorite shows of all time.
Yep.
And I will say one thing that was really interesting was, this isn't going to be a spoiler, but just the character of Megan, who Don marries towards the end of the show. She shows up very early in the show. like earlier than I remembered.
Okay.
Which was very interesting to see her like as, you know, part of the company, just as a secretary, like very early on. So that was cool. But yeah, so I'm like halfway through this show, like a little over halfway through. Yep, still one of the best.
7 seasons.
7, yeah, and they did the thing where the longer.
Season 7 is a little longer, and they split it in 2 parts.
Yeah, it was like
released a little
1 year and then 1 year later. I want to say, because I remember when it was airing.
Yeah, they did that just like Breaking Bad too. It was AMC trying to milk it for all they had.
Yeah. It's still though like it is. Every other season is 13 episodes, so it's a decent.
Yeah, it's not like they do now where it's like
no,
10 at
it was
most,
consistently
8.
13. Yeah. So anyway, still one of the best. It has not dipped at all. I was curious because I think you might have mentioned last week. I can't remember if you did or not, but do you ever feel like there was a point in Mad Men where it like even slightly like dipped at all in quality or just like maybe storyline?
I feel like maybe
around the middle or where
like season 6 or something like before.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel like it got a little, and you're like, okay, you know, like it's been a while, but I feel like
okay,
like not terrible, but it's just like, okay, this is not what it was. But then I think they kind of brought it back for that final season. But also I think it's you know, one of those things where you know, where is that line, right? Like, you know, how much more can you go before, and you're just trying to extend it because you know, if especially something like that, I imagine they had ideas for like, here's how we're going to end things, you know, like kind of that the closing of this story, but you gotta hold that. So then you like keep filling in the gaps before that, and it's like at some point, are you trying to drag it out too long? And I think I remember kind of feeling that a little bit in season 6. I think.
Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out.
It's been so long as I've watched it now.
Yeah, no, I mean, so far it's still like it's incredible the whole way through. So I'll have to keep an eye on it, like when I get to season 6 and see if there is that dip at all. Because I do remember the final season was really strong. Yeah. So, all right, that's it.
Okay.
That I have.
Yeah.
I mean, I was focused on Severance a lot too. I watched it twice, so. But that's right. Josh is getting the whiteboard. It is now that time again.
It's time for Based or Waste.
All right. Welcome back to Based or Waste. The internet game show. We go on Rotten Tomatoes and we check and see what's trending, whether it be TV show or movies, and we look at audience scores. And Josh is I'm going to pick 10 of them, and then Josh is going to guess if they're good or bad, the audience score, if they're based or waste, or fresh or rotten. So this week, what are we? Back to
TV?
Yeah, back to TV.
So I thought.
Yep. So last week, did you get an 8?
I don't remember.
I think it was an 8. So
go back and check the tape.
Yeah, check the tape. I don't remember. I edited the podcast pretty recently, but I don't remember. All right. So back to TV. Are you ready, Josh?
Ready.
Okay. Play along at home too. Mm-hmm. Let us know. I haven't seen any comments yet about people, so let us know if you like this show, this segment, or if you are also playing along or not. No cheating. Don't go on Rotten Tomatoes. Also, these change a lot, so they could fluctuate slightly from when I looked at all these, but all right. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, very relevant. First one is Severance Season 2.
Oh. This is based. Come on.
Yes, it is. It's a 79 right now, though, which is too low.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why it's a 79. Very interesting.
Well, because there's only one episode for the audience,
I guess. And if some people were
got
not
a 6. Critics
yeah,
got
and
6
the
of
credit
10.
it was like at 99.
Yeah.
Like it was insanely high.
But yeah, for the audience, they've only had one. I could see some people maybe not
some people didn't like
the first episode.
the way it started. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. American Primeval. This is on Netflix. Just came out. Very
I
interesting.
don't know what this is.
Like 1800s Western, 6-episode kind of miniseries.
Okay.
It has the I love this actress. Betty Gilpin, I want to say is her name, from Glow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And she's in some other things too, but I really like her. So she's in it.
I'm just gonna say based.
Yeah. 88. I have not checked this out yet, but I will.
I don't even
I watch anything that she's in.
I don't even have this on my list. I'll have to somehow slip through my cracks.
I imagine it's got to be in the top 10 trending, like on Netflix.
Just somehow I never even saw a trailer for it, so I don't.
Yeah, kind of. I didn't see much about it leading up to it, but yeah, I imagine it's probably pretty high on Netflix right now. All right, and then one we were just talking about, The Pit, season 1.
We'll say based.
Yes, 89.
It's crazy that well, it's got 3 episodes out now, so it's
Yes, 3, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, but like, why is that rated higher than Severance? Yeah. That doesn't make sense. I mean, it is good, but it's not as good as Severance. All right. This is another one I want to check out. Just came out. Castlevania Nocturne Season 2.
This is anime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Castlevania show was awesome. And this is like a spinoff of it.
All right, we'll just say based. I don't really know, but
yeah. No, these have done really well. This is a 92. Yeah, I need to check it out. Did you ever watch the original?
No.
Oh man,
it's anime. It takes a lot for me to watch.
Yeah,
anime.
but you growing up, didn't you play Castlevania? You remember that on Super Nintendo?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely played it. Yeah.
So I remember our aunt and uncle had it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I played it originally.
Yep.
All right. Mayfair Witches. This is only season 1 because I think season 2 was just about to start. This is Anne Rice.
And this bubbled up because season 2 is about to start.
I think, season 2 is about to start. Yeah, this is Alexandria Daddario.
I mean,
I didn't watch it.
I'll say based.
Nope. 55.
Okay.
Waste.
I was like, well, they're doing a season 2. Maybe it's decent.
Yeah, but this is like the same universe. They did Interview with the Vampire, but that's
supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. That's it. It is good. Yeah. This one not so much. I haven't checked it out though. All right, this next one I picked just because it's Tim Allen. I don't know anything about it. It's his new show, Shifting Gears.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about this either.
I didn't either. I just saw it up there.
We'll say based. People like Tim Allen.
Yeah. Yes. 66, a little lower, but yes, based. Yeah, I thought he was still doing his other show that he's been doing forever. So maybe he is doing that also. I don't know.
What's that on?
Shifting Gears? I think Netflix. I believe. All right.
I haven't really watched him since
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Yeah.
And that even I feel like it was more like my parents watched it and I just kind of
Yeah.
sometimes would see some of it. Never watched it, but
Yep. That's how it was for me too. Yeah. I never really watched him in anything else, but shout out to Galaxy Quest.
and Toy Story.
Oh yeah, of course. Toy Story also, but Galaxy Quest is underrated. That movie is sick.
Yep.
All right. We have 4 more. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Goosebumps season 2. This just came out.
Let's say based.
Yeah. 80. I watched a little bit of the first season. I didn't really like it, but I watched it because the cast is good.
Yeah. David Schwimmer.
Yeah, he's in the new season.
Yeah.
First season was, oh man, now I'm blanking on his name. This is not good podcasting.
If you don't know, you don't know. What's our next show?
All right. The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live.
It's a new season or new series?
No, this is, I think it only has one season. Maybe season 2 is about to start, but this is, I can't keep track of all of these, but this is the newest.
I'm just going to say
show.
Waste.
No, this is an 80.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm surprised because a lot of it is not good, the spinoffs, but all right. Marvel's What If, season 3. I think this also just started.
We'll say Based.
Nope.
No. Man.
Now, the previous seasons were rated good, but this new season is a 34. It's very low. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I was like, I thought people liked it. I didn't watch them, but
I didn't either, but no, it was good. All right. Then this last one, let me preface this with, which I want to mention anyway on the pod. Rest in peace to David Lynch. But Twin Peaks, the whole show, is our last one because
Based.
Yeah, of course. It is a 92. Amazing show. Makes sense why it's trending, but unfortunately, yeah, sad that he's passed away. But speaking of that, though, I mean, did you ever watch Twin Peaks?
Yes, the original, yes.
Not the return.
Not the return, but I know it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say, as kind of a segue to Severance, there would be no Severance without David Lynch and Twin Peaks, because that was one of the first very weird, surreal, lot of mysteries type of show. I want to say that was like very popular. There would be no Lost without Twin Peaks, I would say also. So David Lynch always embraced the weird, but he did it in an amazing way. All right. So what was that? 7?
7.
You got?
7 out.
Okay. Maybe it's not the year of Josh, the year of George.
Not my best.
It's all right. Maybe this is a new year. Maybe you're a movie guy now, because you've been doing great with the movies.
I don't know. Yeah. Changing it up.
Yeah. All right. That has been Based or Waste. Tune in next week.
All right. Severance, season 2, episode 1. Hello, Miss Cobel.
Yeah.
Mark returns to work under different circumstances. Secrets from the Audi world come to light.
I was really looking forward to this synopsis to see how little it would say.
All right. So how'd you feel about this first episode?
Yeah. Very interesting start to start the season with just all Annie.
Yes.
And all on the severed floor.
Yes.
Was not expecting that. But it was a very good start, I thought, and to a new season, and kind of like a very good setup to what's to come, but also somewhat of a reset too with the way that episode ends too. It kind of seemed that way, which was interesting. But yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I think well said. Yeah, it was like a little twist differently, but then by the end, like you said, kind of resetting it for our main characters, our heroes, to be back together again. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and then I also had a note about all any stuff, no Audi, and which I don't think they've done before. So
no, I was trying to think if any of the first season was any episode that was just on the severed floor, and I don't think so. I don't think there's one that a whole episode was. So yeah, I mean, this episode probably was just elevated for me also just because it's been 3 years and I've just been looking forward to this so much.
Yep.
So it was just very exciting that we're back in this world. Yeah. And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we open with Mark coming out the elevator into the severed floor. And my note was, it's been 3 years for us and it's been 3 seconds for him.
Yeah.
Because he literally just left the party as far as he knew, and now he's there.
But Mr. Milchek says it's been 5 months.
Right. No, I know, but we don't know that yet at this moment.
Well, I think he's lying anyway when he says that. I don't think it's been that long, but we can get into that.
Okay. All right. And then
but you mean for as any
far as any is concerned, yes. In this moment. And then we get this crazy cool running sequence.
Yeah, I want to hear you talk about this.
What do you mean?
Just because I thought you would gush about this because it's just very cool.
It's some crazy camera angles and switch ups, and then I don't know if you looked in. It took them a long time to film this.
Yeah,
because they filmed different sequences at different times, and they used a bunch of stuff of him running on green screen and then running it's a bunch of
which is crazy that because it looks so real, and that means at times it was all CG essentially. Because some of it was done with him just running on a treadmill. That's crazy.
They even said Ben Stiller said I think it was Ben Stiller. They had to widen their halls because
it's like a mechanical arm, right? The camera,
the type of camera, robotic arm camera that they were using for those programmatic shots, which you can see if you've ever seen it done in other stuff. Like it's where it kind of feels like it's moving and stopping in a spot and then moving and stopping in a spot, and it's like these were like you program where you want it to be and then it'll move to those different spots.
Yeah, that's got to make it way longer to do. Also, just plan.
But things evidently the halls weren't wide enough to use that in the traditional halls.
So this is very big.
They had to widen them just for those, but move them back in for other scenes. But so.
Yeah, very cool though, in kind of reminiscent of the opening episode of the show.
And then I really like just teasing us with the audio from where we left off with everybody. They just had the audio of it in black before he pops into the floor. But I think that really sets it up well because then he's running because he's looking for wellness because obviously the moment, like seconds before this, is when he realizes his wife, who he thought was dead, his Audi thought was dead, is Miss Casey. And so he's looking for her.
And where he stops, this is interesting, at wellness. After he's done.
Yeah, he goes looking for wellness. And
right, but it's interesting.
It's gone.
Yeah,
But we knew they were tying her before.
Yes, we knew that, but it is interesting how this looks though, because it's very surreal the way it's like the two doors, like it's drywalled up, but that's it. Like it looks like they took off they scraped off the sign, but there's like residuals of it there. There's things hanging they took off, and you can see the little I don't know if you want to say dust or like dirty stuff around that you just see from like where the painting was. That's what I mean. Like it seems like it's very hastily done, so like very recent and not 5 months to me.
I don't know anything about hastily done. It just looks like a place that we took everything out and we didn't clean it, and so or repaint it because it's not being used, so it has those just residual things that are there when you just we just took everything out. Did you notice the person lurking in the hall?
Oh, yeah.
Behind him.
Who do you think this is?
I don't know.
To me, it looked the closest to Grainer.
I know. That I would agree. That's what I was like. Doesn't make any sense because he should be dead.
Unless they can do something.
Well, we don't know.
With that, we don't know.
Can they clone people?
Right, and I think
who is Miss Casey? Is she really his wife, or did his wife
did she actually die? Or no, and I think that's intentional. I think they want you to see that person lurking in the background and want you to think is that Grainer? Because it looks the closest to him.
Yeah, it does physically. Like he just kind of looked like him. So then he heads then back to the office, and he walks into their office in MDR, and there's 3 new people there.
Yeah.
And not his 3 friends.
Yep. Yeah. I like these 3 characters.
Yeah.
They were introduced very well.
Yeah, they were. They're very well developed. And then, so do you think they'll be back?
Yeah, it's weird that they were only in this very briefly. I feel like they have to be. Like,
I mean, you can go both ways because, like, now, especially now that you have a show that's well known enough that you can do stunt casting where you can get well known actors,
right?
to play
Which
a
we'll
role
talk
for
about
like
later.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's another stunt casting thing.
Yeah.
But
that would be crazy if it was literally only for this. And
I know, but I'm with you. I feel like we'll see these people again.
I think so. Yeah, in some way. Did you have you made the Seinfeld connection?
The Seinfeld connection.
Yeah. So Mark W.
Yes.
Because I was like, he looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the head NBC direct in Seinfeld.
Okay. Yes.
And maybe I imagine Ben Stiller already knew him because I mean his dad was in Seinfeld as George's dad.
Yes.
So I imagine they probably have had a long friendship. And then we have maybe from Arrested Development. Yeah.
Yeah. I love her. She was also in Search Party.
Yeah, she's been in
other stuff, but like Search Party was also good.
Yeah, I never watched that.
First season was actually really good. The second season, and then I don't even know if I finished the third season or even or even finished second season. I can't. Somewhere in there I dropped off, but the first season was really good. The premise was good. It was funny. They're basically just pretentious hipsters from New York that like their one friend goes missing and they decide that they should go find her, and then but realizing like it's all just an acquaintance and none of them really are really friends with this lady that went missing.
Okay.
But just like specifically the lead character, which is played by, I'm drawing a blank of her name, but maybe this actress.
Aaliyah Shawkat.
Yeah. She just feels obligated to try to find this person.
Gotcha.
And then it's like kind of her circle of friends. They all kind of tag along, and it's funny. The first season's definitely funny.
And then Mark W. is Bob Balaban. I don't know the Italian guys. Yeah. The actor.
I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything else.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah. I mean, Ben Stiller and obviously everyone else that's involved is good with casting because Tremel Tillman is Mr. Milchek. I believe he wasn't in
very well known.
Yeah, or hardly in anything before. So it seems like he has an eye for finding new people. Because Britt Lauer also plays Helly. I don't think she really did much before either. So yeah. I will say also Miss Huang is great too.
Yes. Well, I was gonna say, so we get
but Mr. Milchek
comes in and just says, "Hey, Mark, it's been a minute."
Yeah, I think
loves a great line. I love it. It was a great line.
I think it's a little nod to the audience too.
Yes,
it has been a minute.
It has been a minute. 3 years. And then
he's got the balloons has Mark's face on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heads in the balloons. And we also here get just a title card. No music title sequence. So I don't know if that's new for season 2 or just because remember episode 1 of season 1 there was no.
It was kind of the same thing. Just
so maybe they're just keeping that tradition. But we'll see. We'll see episode 2 if it.
Yeah, I was really interested in. I want to see what they do with the because I imagine it's going to be something new. And
well, they definitely changed the type, not the typeface, but the style,
kind of like the graphic
of the graphic. Mm-hmm. They definitely changed that up.
They did
because it's like recessed or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like
embossed
all
where it
white.
used to not be, where it was like it was just flat in season 1.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
so they changed that up. So I don't know.
No, I'm really curious. Like I imagine next week we'll see it, and I want to see what all's involved with that because I mean there was a lot in the first season title sequence that had to do with like a lot of the themes of that season. So I imagine we're going to get that in next week's for the title sequence. I'm curious what all it's going to look like.
We will see.
Yeah.
And this is when Milchek tells him it's been 5 months.
Right.
And we get introduced to Miss Huang.
Yeah.
And she's a child.
Yes.
Which then is mentioned later a couple times, like just again, what they do such good job of writing, and this is like they'll immediately the things you're thinking, and then they'll just like bring it up.
Oh yeah.
So that you don't. It's like, oh, okay. So
yeah, they do that with not just the mysteries, like stuff that you're asking yourself, but like with the humor or just any of the dialogue. Yeah, they'll say what you're thinking. Yeah, it's great.
So then we get.
So you do believe it's been 5 months?
I don't know. I actually. So we'll talk about it here in a second. But
because of the newspaper, I'm curious what you think of that too. Because that's in the same scene.
So he starts to tell him, Miss Cobel's been. She's been replaced. She no longer works there, and he's now in charge of the severed floor, and blah blah. And then he's like, "Where's everyone else?" And he's like, "Well, you guys are, you're the face of Severance reform." And he shows him like a newspaper article real quick. That's like half of
the Kier Chronicle. Is the
it's half of his blacked out, redacted.
Yeah, it's so much,
which is funny, but.
Well, I mean, the picture of them too. It's literally just their picture, like photoshopped onto.
Yep. Yeah, they're the Innies blow the whistle. Faces of Severance reform. Yeah, that's what the title of the article says.
Yeah,
and then he asks about Miss Cobel and why she was at his sister's party.
This is so great.
And he's like, well. Well, we discovered she might have had an infatuation with you, and was hoping to have with your Innie and your Outie a throuple.
Yeah.
And
he said Cobel developed an erotic fixation on Mark and plans to pursue both Mark's Innie and Outie in a throuple. Yeah,
which is just so hilarious.
It is. You know what? That would make sense from the way she acted in the first season.
Right, but I don't think that's true either.
No. I don't think it, but no, she definitely had a fascination with him.
She definitely did, but also like
that was not the only reason though.
No, I don't think she was trying to do a throuple.
No,
because
how would that work anyway?
Well, because half the time
maybe they'll answer that question.
Dating your Innie, half the time you're dating the Outie. I don't know.
Maybe they'll answer that question in the show at some point.
Wait, for a throuple though, it doesn't. The Outie and the Innie would have to be able to
at the same. Yeah, I know. How's that
they're
work?
Not actually can't be in the same place at the same time.
No.
So I don't know. Yeah. But I think also though, like her fascination with him and Miss Casey though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's totally that has a thing for Mark though. I think she does a little bit, but also there's something else there. And
for sure. Yeah. I mean, she was heavily trying to get them to remember each other. That was a big thing of season 1.
Yeah. Yeah. So. So then he heads back to the cubicles.
Yep.
And we get a little more conversation with the 3 new people. And it turns out like Gwendolyn Y and Mark W used to work together at a different MDR.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the other guy's name, which I didn't even pick up on.
Dario.
They don't
ever say it, but it's on his little statue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he was at even a different MDR that was all ropes and brooms and stuff or whatever they talk about.
The elevator was a rope.
Yes.
And the perpetuity wing was all brooms or something like that.
But yeah, that's because they come up with the perpetuity wing. They're like, are they animatronic? And he's like, no. And they're like, oh, ours are animatronic.
Yeah,
so theirs was newer and more advanced. And then his was like primitive. Because then his instead of it being like the glowing carved thing in glass or whatever, it's just a wooden carved thing.
Yeah.
Just the attention to detail.
Yeah.
And
so that's another thing that's like plays into that, or I want to say explains it even more too, because it's Lumen, the amount of money they have. It's like they wouldn't need to do that. That's got to be part of the experiment for each one. Like
each one has its own perpetuity ring is also crazy.
Yes, and the way, I mean, if that is true, that they had to go up and down a rope to get to it, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's no reason they'd have to do that, So
I don't know.
It's just I don't know. There's a lot in this show though. It's like how much should you believe from Lumen?
Right. Especially Then I love the conversation that Gwendolyn Y has with Mark and asking him about, did he look at the sky and things? And she's like, we wanted to know what is wind like? Is it like getting breathed on?
Great description of that.
Love that. And then we get the ball game.
Yeah.
Again. And then Mark W. says, what are you, a child? To Miss Wong.
Oh yeah, he's the first. She said, "Any questions?" And he asks, "Why are you a child?"
Why are you a child?
Yeah, because of when I was born.
Because of when I was born, which is great response.
How old is she supposed to be? What do you think?
I have no idea. Like 16, 15. I don't know. She looks like in that range.
I don't even know. 15,
maybe 14.
maybe.
But like that, she's definitely like I think about she looks older than Kirsten, who's like almost 13.
Or around Kirsten's age,
a little bit older, I think. So
I do want to, something I thought about, you see the picture of Miss Cobel as a little girl, like in her shrine in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And she's at the Myrtle, which is the name of one of the CEOs at some point, Myrtle School for Girls or whatever.
Right.
She's standing outside of that. She's dressed exactly like how Miss Swan is dressed. So I wonder if there's a connection there.
Yeah.
In some way.
Just I kind of skipped over, but there was a note of Mark W. mentions they were from Branch 5X.
Yeah.
MDR Branch 5X, which I don't know what that means, but
yeah. And what is this branch?
Yeah.
Named? We don't even know.
We don't know, but why do they know that and we don't?
Yeah.
And then I just wanted the actress. I don't know her real name that plays Miss Wong. She's doing such a great job. Especially not just in this scene, but later she goes toe to toe with John Turturro, and no, not even a flinch. Like the way she stares him down, and
so good.
Yeah. And then so I also this is where when it gets to Mark, he's like, I made 4 new friends today. And then she's like, correction, I'm not your friend. I'm your supervisor, which is just so hilarious to come from like we said, like a 15-year-old. I know.
And the way, how long they stare at each other is so good in that scene.
So then he eventually, and again, like for a long pause, and then he's like, I made 3 new friends today. Mm-hmm. He's just playing along. And then he writes the note.
Yeah, and puts it in Mark W's
suit jacket.
Yeah.
And then we get him leaving and coming back, because
this is cool also to see from his point of view.
No cut too, like from the switch to any to Audi to
no
any.
Cut like in the filming note. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there. Yeah,
he like switches. Right. It basically does the Zolly in and then Zolly's back out. Yeah. Normally they would just Zolly in,
right,
or Zolly out. Like they would do it in one take, like, and this one does.
The effect looked a little different too.
I mean, they're doing the same thing. I don't know. I mean,
or something about it. I don't know. It looked, or something they add to it. I don't know. Maybe it was the point of view they were doing, but I do like how we get to see exactly like
the experience for the innie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention, I liked Miss Wong. She used to be a crossing guard.
Oh yeah. Hey, that still applies to the school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So maybe
so he walks in and literally Milchek starts reading the note.
I love his face when he's reading the note. It's so good.
But also, I love that Mark W. calls him Mr. Milkshake.
Milkshake. Yeah.
Instead of Milchek, but
yeah. And the line that your quote is from was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. How descriptive it is. Again, this is kind of still keeping with just the very specific, but also just strange language they use in this show. I love it. It makes it just funnier at times.
Yep. So then once Mark realizes he's had, because they're all like, who are you're gonna blackmail us all? He makes a comment about, well, you guys don't know what I did to the kitchenette.
Yep.
And then of course Milchek's like, and then they all run over there, and while they're running over there, he runs to Milchek's office, and tries calling the board and from the little speaker.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the silent static, but we don't really know if they were there or not. And
It seemed like it worked though because of what happens.
Well, so then Milchek finds him, unplugs it, and then he walks him to the elevator. And then of course Mark's like, "What are you firing me?" And then puts him in the elevator because he even made him not the manager anymore, stole his key card.
Yeah.
So Milchek's the one that even uses the key card to send him out. And yeah, so then they do the Zolly in, Zolly out, and then it's like, ding, he's back. And there's a new painting on the wall.
Yes, there is.
And then he's confused, and as he's staying there before he can get too far away, ding, and then Dylan shows up.
I want to hear, what do you think this painting means or represents?
I'm less worried about what the painting means or represents, and I'm more like the one thing that's not discussed,
yeah,
and it's just assumed, is how much time went by there.
Yes.
So like whether he was lying or not, and that was 5 months or not, then we could have a huge jump in time or not.
Yeah.
Between the time they have him leave and then the time he comes back, and the painting's there.
True.
And then of course Dylan and Irving and then Helly all show up. Now, of course, for a moment he's like, because Helly's like the longest delayed, and he thinks maybe she's not coming, and then she does.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. The new painting says Keir pardons his betrayers. It's funny just what they do with this, but also the newspaper, just the propaganda. It's like Keir propaganda is just like so apparent everywhere in this.
And Irving's kind of upset, and of course they all wonder why. He was banging on the door as he came in.
Yeah.
And he's walking off, and Dylan says, "Dude, what's wrong? Are you poor up there?"
Yeah, that was good.
So they get back into where the cubicles are, the work area, and Helly notes that there's no security cameras.
Yes, she does.
And then Miss Wong shows up and says, "Mr. Milchek would like to see all you in the break room."
In the break room.
Which also creates this nice tension, because as a viewer, we all know what the break room is.
But also we've never seen more than one person go
exactly.
in.
And you're like, wait,
like, are they all going?
How are they going to take... I literally said that when I was watching it the first time. I was like, yeah.
Did you watch this only once, or did you?
No, I watched it twice.
You watched it twice? Cool.
Yeah. Mainly, I wanted to watch it once just to like watch it.
That's what I did. And not take any notes.
And then rewatch it and take notes.
Yep. That's how I'm going to do probably every week.
Yeah, if I have time, I will.
Yeah.
The dangerous thing is, though, if I don't have time and I didn't take notes, that's the problem.
Right.
So then they slowly, and of course they're all like, "What the heck?" All of us are going to the break room. And then as they get in there, it's totally different. And there's like a little projector and a couple kind of movie theater comfy seats, and Milchek's there.
The music in this section was really good.
Yeah.
Also, I love that purple color. Very specific purple. It's cool.
Is it the same purple that the other
I think
NDR was? That the
I
guy
forget what he called
made it puke.
It made him sick. Yeah.
It makes me sick. Did you notice the posters on the wall?
Yes. I had them written down.
Yep, me too.
My favorite was I'm a frolic-aholic. Because it's all the Keir or the tempers, right? Yeah, it's all based on the.
Well, and it's all them.
Yeah, I didn't notice that with the other ones. I noticed it with the one where it's Dylan.
Hang in there.
Yeah. Oh, it's hanging in there. That was that one. Yeah.
It was Dylan hang in there. He's like reaching for the boat. Yeah.
So the other ones were them. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the Be Ever Merry
with the B.
Mm-hmm.
See, I thought one of them was actually like Keir.
Oh, I thought they were all them, but. And then Grin and Baird it.
Yeah. Yep. Which Baird is one of the past CEOs.
Yeah.
I believe.
So maybe I'm wrong. Like once I thought Maybe once I saw
I mean,
Dylan's,
the Dylan one's definitely there.
Dylan, and I was like, oh, that's all of them, but maybe not. All right, so then we get this amazing stop motion animation.
Yeah, puppet stop motion. Yeah,
it's like
cool.
it's like the old Rudolph movies. It's that style.
Yeah, I guess it is
like
the same as that. Yeah,
which is like
or like Wallace and Gromit. No, I guess
Wallace
that's
and
more
Gromit's clay.
claymation.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit, which is also stop motion, but with clay. These are like
these
more
are
like
puppets.
puppet.
Yeah,
or like I don't know what you would call it, but
yes,
yeah, they and we get this great recap of a propaganda version of the recap of season 1, basically. And great little moments in there. Each person kind of, especially, Dylan getting like kind of like, wait, I wouldn't do that. Like eating the candy is like the perks, new perks of lemon candy, Christmas mints, and salsa.
Yeah.
And then pineapple bobbing.
That was the standout one for me, was the pineapple bobbing. And their hands are tied behind their back while they do it. I don't know.
How do you grab a pineapple? I mean, maybe by the stem,
I guess.
but like they're rough and like,
oh yeah,
you could hurt yourself.
At this point, it's like not surprising at all just how weird all these things are that they come up with.
But they're basically, setting them up as like, hey, we were, they helped us learn to be better.
The other ones that were interesting was the playful mirror room.
Yes.
And then the hall passes, which I'm curious what that means, because they don't really.
The soon to come.
Oh, is that what it says?
Like, okay. It's like soon to come hall passes.
Okay. I'm curious what that is.
And so this is where we get our cameo voice.
Yeah.
So those of you if you didn't catch it, this is Keanu Reeves doing the voice of this, voicing of the building.
Sure. Building, yeah.
For this VO, for this.
Yeah, I could tell immediately. I was like, that's definitely, he has a very distinctive voice, even though he's kind of playing it off.
And he is hiding it pretty well.
Yeah.
Better than like normal.
Yeah.
Or when he's just being himself.
I was trying to figure out what the other voice is for the water tower, but I couldn't tell who it was. It was just like one line.
It's such a short line. Yeah. It's the water tower in the shape of I forget what they say that is. They talked about it in the.
I mean, yeah, it's the same shape as like that's on the logo and what they wear.
Right, but it's like the real water tower is that shape, and it's the shape of something.
Yeah.
Like a transistor or something like that.
That's right. It is something to do with transistor, yeah.
All right, so then the movie ends, and of course they're all like, what the heck? Especially, I love Dylan's reaction when he sees Mark and Helly kiss.
Oh yeah, he's like, what the heck?
Yeah, and then at the end of the film, he starts to clap, and no one else does, so he stops. But then we get Milchek telling them that he doesn't want to be their jailer, and it's your choice. You can leave if you want to leave, stay if you want to stay. If you're working at your desk by the end of the day, then I'll assume you want to stay.
Yeah.
And then he walks out. And so then they're all like, this is the first time they really had time alone. They're all like, what did...
Well, they make it a point also that doesn't Milchek say something about it, like not there's security or anything in that room.
Recording devices or something like
But it's like,
do we believe
we don't know that.
Yeah. And I also just think it's funny, like, one of the best ways to keep someone captured is to make them think they're free, right?
She said that in season 1. Mm-hmm. Miss Cobel, yeah. Very good point, yeah.
But it is also like, reverse psychology.
Yes.
Like, oh, you can go. And then they're like, well, we don't want to go. We want to stay. So then they start sharing what they experienced. And of course, Mark shares his experience and the fact that his brother-in-law is this guy that they're all like, is their hero.
It's like a celebrity
to them. And then also about Miss Casey being his dead wife.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone's
I'm surprised Dylan didn't say anything to that.
Because will they, won't they?
Yeah.
Of course, maybe he's had a change of heart since he learned his Audi is actually married and has kids. So
yeah.
And then Helly gets the share, and well, Helly flat out lies.
Yeah.
And even Irving's a little suspicious.
Night Gardener?
Night Gardener? I've never seen one of those. So why do you think Helly's lying?
Well, the theory I've seen a lot is that she's Helena and not Helly.
Yeah. So it's
I
either
don't know if you saw that also, or if you thought about that.
I mean, I thought about it before, but then I've seen people talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, just different things she does. There's something at the end that I really noticed, but I mean, you mentioned like her pointing out the cameras.
It's almost like she's trying too hard.
Yeah, she acts a little weird when she first gets down there off the elevator too. She seems a little surprised that Mark hugs her. You know,
well, and I think it's more like a little bit later, but
oh yeah,
when her and Mark talk about, but yeah, and then Irving won't tell them what he saw.
Yeah,
and then they all start working out, and then of course Irving heads to the door. He wants to leave, and then Dylan goes after him, and this is when we get Mark and Helly talking, and she's so insistent that the innies are not the same as the outies, and you know, and I think that interaction was really what put me over. I was like, she's not acting like herself, but I think they're doing such a good job of balancing a line of like, this could be her just embarrassed about who she found out she was, but I think the stronger thing that is going to be is she's actually the outie,
Helena. Yeah. Well, because I mean, you see all the different, like when at the end of season 1, all the different protocols they can do to the severed employees. So it's like they could essentially turn her on or off
wherever, I
or
mean,
just bypass the elevator actual switch, so she stays as her outie. Yeah, like in an easy way.
If you can switch them, if you can switch to innies on the outside, there's no reason you can't switch to an outie on the inside.
Yes.
So
yeah, it seems like you can still see like their connection with each other, like. So that's the thing that kind of like is still conflicting though, because you can see they still flirt a little bit, and you can see that they still like each other.
Well, I'm assuming assuming that she's a plant,
right?
She would know all the information that they know from the security stuff, that including the thing that they put in even the
footage.
Animated footage of them kissing. Yeah. So she would know all that information.
So she could act.
So she could kind of at least pretend, lean into that stuff, even if she's not acting like Helly. But
it goes back to like some of that could still seep through, like we've been talking about a lot, different feelings. But
yeah, so then we get great scene with Irving and Dylan.
Oh yeah,
and them talking through, and of course
by the door.
By the door, and of course Irving eventually shares. And then also tells them about the paintings of this dark hall, and he's like the hall to break room. He's like, no, different,
very different. Yeah.
And then Miss Wong shows up and says, hey, Milchek would like to speak with you, Dylan. And
so one thing I wanted to say, because this was a really great interaction between them two, but the whole time I really wanted to see him go through the door, because I wanted to see what would actually happen, like, because I don't know, we see what happens when Helly does at the beginning of the show, but I'm just curious if it changes in any way, like if at this point, if we like I don't know, me personally, I wanted to see him go through that door and just to see what would happen, but
so before Dylan comes into the office, we get the scene where Milchek's trying to get his computer fixed because it still says hello, Miss Cobel.
Yep.
And he's like on the phone with somebody, and
he doesn't like that at all.
No. And so he turns it off, and Dylan comes in, and he takes Dylan to a secret back room and shows him plans for a visitation suite.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Family visitation suite. And of course, it's fun. I love it. It's like Dylan's like, is this really going to be? And he's like, well, if you take it at the name of the thing or something.
Very specific dialogue.
So he doesn't actually tell him yes. He just says, then I think it's very exciting or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, how very specific he is with his response to him. Yeah. But yeah, this I'm hoping we get to see this either way. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly what he thinks it's going to be. But he does say, yeah, his wife.
Yeah, could come visit. And he tells her, he shares his
name's Gretchen. Yeah.
Yep. And then he leaves, and then I love they show Miss Wong playing a game on her computer.
Yeah.
And then after she's done playing that game, she pulls out one of those like old water games. But it's Kier, right? Like it looks like
it's him. He's like
he's like up with his hands up, and then like she's getting a little ring toss on there.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. I was like, oh, I remember those.
Yeah, me too.
We didn't have a Kier one, but
no.
And then we see our 4 heroes back at the cubicles, and they all kind of sit down and get back in their rhythm of working.
Yeah. So this is the point I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
The way you see her trying to turn on the computer.
Yes.
And it takes her a little bit.
Yeah.
They make sure to linger on that. So that was the thing one of the most important things that I think.
It's like she's not coming.
Because how often she did that, like it would be immediate. Because they show the other people.
Yeah, they know where it is. It's just like anything,
it's the back switch,
anything we do as a human being on a regular basis. You eventually learn
exactly. But they
don't have to look and you flip a switch like
exactly. But they make a point to linger on that a little bit of her. It takes her a second to.
You're right. Yeah. But then they kind of get in the rhythm, and it feels it's kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like the Avengers Assemble kind of.
It really is.
It felt like that. Like we're like, oh, we're ready to go. We're gonna hit our quota.
Yeah, it felt very much like the
work's important
reset.
And mysterious.
That's right. It is.
But anyway, and then we're going along. Even Mark's
maybe
got this,
a little less mysterious.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mark's got this grin on his face, and he's kind of like do. And then we get a little flash at his screen and into another screen, and we see Cold Harbor, Miss Casey, which is the same work he was working on. Like his file,
the file name
is Cold Harbor, and then it goes over to hers, and it's like Cold Harbor and Miss Casey. Picture flashes really quick.
I would argue this is the most exciting thing. Like I freaked out when I saw this. I was like, oh, we're finally getting something.
Yeah.
Like getting a little bit of an explanation. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, episode 1 of season 2, pretty much.
Yeah. This is her, obviously. I guess it's like a live feed of her in the testing floor. Look like.
I don't know if it's a live feed or like where she's in. Cold Harbor kind of means maybe you're like in cold storage.
Yeah,
because they retired her from wellness, and so especially if she's like some kind of like clone and not necessarily like, again, they can do so much else with switches in your brain. What doesn't mean they couldn't just put you in kind of like some, like, again, cold storage type of state, and then until they wanted to wake you back up, and then maybe this is like, again, cleaning or doing something to the brain to like reset things. I don't know.
It's definitely we mentioned before, like the actual buckets that they're sorting into is the tempers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it woe, frolic, dread? No, I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I think there's only 4, but then there's 5 that they sort to at the bottom. So I don't know what that means. But anyway, yeah, very, very interesting. I'm just glad we got a little bit of something here, so we know it's not just pointless what they're doing. Like that's a huge reveal just in itself.
Yeah.
Like that it's not pointless what they're doing.
Yeah, and I knowing, trusting the show and it's the writers and stuff, I kind of had faith that they have a little bit more figured out than they've ever shared, and not like probably a lot more. I think they know a lot, and they just like
to
have the attention to detail and stuff that they have on everything. I think they have a lot mapped out and figured out. That just,
I hope so.
yeah.
I mean, they definitely already said they already have the ending of the show, which is very good. So, do you think that next week's episode is going to be all outie?
It's a good question. I mean, wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that. I think that might be the case.
Because it could be fun to see those in between stuff.
Yeah.
For Mark and know what's happening. And now that we know what's happening on the inside, I don't know. But yeah, but also it could not be. But maybe it's just an all Cobel, Miss Cobel, what she's been up to. Whole Cobel episode.
Right. Because of the name of the episode. The second episode. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
No? Oh,
No.
okay. Well, I thought you did because that's actually, it is Goodbye, Miss Selvig is the name of the next episode.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. So
maybe it'll pick up where she gets like fired and whatever happens to her. Yeah.
I mean, I think we'd also have to, if it is like an all outie episode, I mean, we'd have to at least see the immediate after effects of Mark, talking to his sister and
correct
talking about why'd you say she's alive, all that.
Yeah.
I think that's got to happen next episode. They can't wait on that too long through the season,
Right. No, I mean, I think, we need to see that and get, the outies perspective.
Yeah.
What happened. Yeah. Any other theories?
No, I don't.
How about
I don't
you?
have too
How
much.
about you, the viewer and listener?
Yeah, give us your theories.
What do you have thoughts, theories, takes on this first episode of season 2?
Yeah.
You can email us at feedback@screentimepod.com or write in, leave a comment, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
If you want to follow each one of us on Instagram, I'm at JYoungBar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. Don't forget to think here for the macro data uprising.